gone down for a nap. I probably could have gotten started this morning doing the turkey. You want to make sure that you account for how many hours it's going to take to bake your turkey, how big it is. Our turkey is 21 pounds. It takes 15 minutes per pound to cook. So it'll be done for dinner. Hopefully it'll be done for the girls' dinner. It'll definitely be done for ours. We are spending Thanksgiving at my nan's, so this turkey is just for us. We might bring some leftovers to my nan so that she has plenty of turkey left over, because it's a big bird. We're probably also going to make some turkey soup and other fun Thanksgiving themed things. But yeah, let's get to cooking. Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, so I'm going to go back and forth between wearing the camera and using the tripod just so the camera doesn't overheat. So we've got most of our stuffing ready for the bird. You want to do the stuffing first if you're going to be stuffing the bird, which we really enjoy stuffing the bird. So I've got all of my stuffing mix. We just use the Pepperidge Farm, the classic stuffing, the seasoned classic stuffing. Okay, so apparently I lost Wi-Fi connection. So I just cut off the top of it where the little sprout is coming from. We're gonna throw out all of this unnecessary oniony stuff. I peeled back a little bit just to make sure I don't get any of these hard, crispy, I don't even know what you call that part of the onion, but the stuff that you don't eat, that's what we're gonna call it. So yeah, I peel all that, maybe the first little layer. I'm sure that there's an easier way to do it. I just pick at it until it's all gone. I might even do another layer because this is really sticking. But I want to show everybody how to cut an onion without making yourself like super cry. So that's why I'm doing the onion for you instead of pre-doing it. My trash can is right next to me, so I'm just sweeping that into the trash can. So once you've gotten, pretty much most of that stuff, you want to leave where the roots are, you want to leave that connected, because that's going to help the next step. So you want to take your knife and just cut down. This is a very thick onion. And you just want to keep rotating it. And just keep, obviously beware of your fingers and your thumb, and just keep cutting downwards. I am very sensitive to onions. I tend to be a sniffling monster, crying and nose running, and that's not what you want when you're cooking. So this prevents all that. Now, of course, if you can see in the containers over here, I did buy some pre-chopped stuff. Sometimes that makes your life easier. We've got a little extra grossness right here. I'm just going to pull that off. All right, so now that you've gone all the way around the onion, you want to hold it on its side and just slice down. Watching your fingers, of course, until you can't slice down anymore. And now that's already chopped up for you. But the root system holds it together, which is why you don't want to cut the roots. So now you have a very easily diced onion, and you're not crying. And I'm going to throw the rest of that away because that's plenty of onion. If you like it chopped a little bit finer, you can just go back in there and chop it a little bit more. We're going to be sauteing it, so it's not going to matter too much how finely chopped it is for me. So yeah, so let's get to sauteing. All right, so I have the oven preheating at 350. I'm going to actually show you. I also put our potatoes in the water. We're going to wait to cook them, but dice them up, let them soak in the water. That's going to help with our gravy, hopefully. My dad is actually the one who usually makes the gravy. He's the best at it. So we are only going to do 2 bags of the stuffing. If you have a big enough bowl to mix 3 bags or however many bags that you want, I do extra stuffing outside of the bird. We have people in our family that are allergic to turkey. So I do stuffing that also does not go inside the bird, so they don't have to worry about turkey dressing or turkey drippings in their stuffing. So we're only going to do 2 bags at a time, 2 bags first, and then I'll do the 3rd bag. So I'll probably do the 3rd bag off camera while the turkey's cooking, so you don't have to watch this twice. But this is a double bag recipe, so we're going to do, because we're going to stuff our turkey with this, we're going to do a whole stick of butter, so that's 8 tablespoons. You can hear the oven, it's buzzing. Everything in our house is electric, and sometimes the oven vibrates when it starts heating up, so you get a little hum from it. I don't know if you can hear it on camera. Also, my husband will probably be coming home soon, so he will be home for Thanksgiving, which is great. So while the butter is melting, I didn't show you the kind of chicken stock that I use. So I'm not sure if you all have a ShopRite near you, but I get most of the time the low sodium chicken broth or chicken stock because we don't need all the salt. So you know, if you have a low sodium version, I recommend getting that. It's just better. Also for our single bag that we're going to be doing, I did buy, our grocery store does pre-cut celery and carrots, and they also do pre-cut onions. So we're probably going to add some of the bigger onion to this. I may chop up a few more carrots and celery for the other bag, but you want about a cup of each. So a cup of celery, a cup of carrots, and a cup of onion. Get this all melty. I do have it on medium. You can probably bump it up. You just don't want to burn anything. So I did do a video, I'll put it in the description, of cranberry sauce that does not have any cane sugar in it. So if you want to also homemade cranberry sauce and not use the can, check out the description in the video. And you'll see the link there. This video, I'm going to be doing the stuffing and the turkey. I think I may add the mashed potatoes to this video as well. I mean, mashed potatoes are pretty easy. You just boil them until they're soft and then mash them. I do sometimes add sour cream or, you know, butter and, you know, all that and everything. But all right, so we are pretty much melted. So we're going to add our onions first. So like I said, I'm going to save some of the onion for our other batch. I'm going to put most of this in there. You know, I really like the onions to be super, super sauteed. We're gonna definitely add the celery and the carrots to soften them. They'll also soften inside the bird. And whatever is left over from this that doesn't fit in our bird will also end up in the stuffing mixture that goes in our pan. Trying to squish this one piece. So hopefully everybody's, you know, not too stressed out from the holidays. It can definitely be a stressful time, especially if you're hosting. But, you know, whatever, I always look at it as whatever you get done, and whatever you don't get done, you don't. So do the best you can, and you know, hopefully you have people helping you out. You know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not bringing any of the turkey to be eaten at Thanksgiving. I might make some to-go containers for my grandmother. We are spending it at her place because she had a fall a few months ago, and you know, she's having a hard time getting around. She's having a hard time seeing. So it's just easier for us to all just go to her apartment. You know, so the girls will be there. So, and I want to try to just enjoy our time there. So that's why I'm making another turkey, and we do love turkey. But we're going to be, I'm going to try to I'm not going to video. I'm going to take pictures just so that the girls can have picture memories, but I'm not going to video any of our Thanksgiving. We're just going to be a family and eat and chit chat and enjoy each other's company. And but I didn't want you guys to miss out on them enjoying Thanksgiving. So I will have this video uploaded for Thanksgiving so they can eat turkey with you. Now, they've had turkey before. They had turkey last year, but they were just beginning to eat last year, eat solid foods last year. So there's our oven. It's going to sing to us, letting us know that it's reached the temperature we need. So yeah, so they were just beginning to eat solid foods then. So they did pick around at some turkey. I think we gave them stuffing and mashed potatoes. They weren't that thrilled with the mashed potatoes, which is funny because they still are not thrilled with mashed potatoes. They did like the stuffing. What else did they have? The turkey. They love the turkey. They love the cranberry sauce. And I gave them sweet potatoes. I made sweet potato fries ahead of time. So they did not have candied yams. They're going to try some of those this year. Alright, so those are starting to get nice and soft. So I'm going to add the carrots and the celery now. It's got like a nice, you know, sizzle. I'm back at medium heat. Some of the other onions are going in there just because I want to make sure to get all that celery, which is fine. And it is starting to smell so yummy. I know when my husband gets home, he's going to be like, this is the best smell ever. He loves turkey. We do turkey throughout the year. I will buy, you know, a good size, you know, 15 to 20 pound bird, and we'll do it in the middle of summer sometimes. I haven't done it this year. I think right after, oh no, I did do it this year, but the girls, it was right around the Super Bowl this past year. We did it. Was that after the girls were born? I have a hard time remembering things sometimes. I blame that on mommy brain. I know we did it right around Super Bowl, but I think that was actually the Super Bowl the girls were born. I did a turkey when he came home. And it was just for us. The girls were not eating because they were just born, so they were only breastfeeding then. So we're just gonna let these simmer for just a little bit. But my husband actually this year keeps saying that football's over. The football season doesn't matter anymore. But that's because he's a Patriots fan. The Patriots right now are not that good. Mommy grew up in the Philadelphia area, in Jersey, but I am a very big Eagles fan. So even when the Eagles aren't doing well, football's still not over. I am still a huge football fan. But the Eagles are actually doing really well this year. We thankfully beat the Chiefs. So I'm excited about that. I'm hoping that we win the Super Bowl this year. That'd be nice. The other thing I wanted to remind everybody, anybody who has dogs, you want to be really careful with giving the dog, you know, the turkey skin, just because of some of the seasonings you might use. Even the stuffing, some of the seasonings in the stuffing, it's not good for the dog. We do boil the innards of the turkey, the giblets. We boil them and give them to the dog as his little treat. He does love that. We don't give him the whole neck. We might, you know, cut off some of the meat or peel off some of the meat of the turkey neck. But we just boil it in plain water. There's nothing else in there. You know, the little liver and all the organs that are packed in your turkey, we're not going to eat them. So we just stick them in a pot of water and just boil it for the dog. That's what he gets for Thanksgiving. Sometimes I do buy him a can of dog food, so he gets wet dog food. So I will sometimes buy a can of that so he gets a little something special because, you know, usually it's a big to-do and there's a ton of people and he knows something's up. So I give him a little something special, and the cat as well gets a little wet cat food. He normally only gets dry cat food. So when it looks like the butter is like mostly soaked up, and I keep poking at it because I'm feeling how soft the carrots are. So they're getting pretty soft. But it looks like everything's pretty soaked up and everything's looking to your liking. You can add the chicken broth. So we're gonna add 4 cups because this is 2 servings. So there's 2. And that's why I have the taller sided pan, because we are adding liquid to it. And there's the other 2. So we have 4 cups, and we're going to bring this back to a boil. Like I said, we're going to leave the potatoes just soaking there until our turkey's almost done. Then that's when we're going to do our potatoes. But you know, it helps all the starch release into the water, which is going to help our gravy, supposedly. So we'll see. This will be my third attempt at doing gravy. The other 2 times, I failed miserably. I do have a jar of gravy. I always have a jar of gravy as a backup. Like I said, my dad is a master at gravy, and I have watched him. I have tried learning from him. I'm probably going to call him in the middle of cooking the turkey and everything. Just because I'm, you know, still unsure of myself making gravy. If you know how to make gravy, you are 10 steps ahead of me. Just gonna give it a stir so nothing's sticking to the bottom. I've turned the heat up a little bit just to get this to boil a little bit faster. So I don't know what everybody else's Thanksgiving traditions are, but in our house we actually don't watch football on Thanksgiving. We sometimes, well, when I was much younger, we used to go to the high school football game, and the high school that my parents went to and the high school I went to are actually rivals. So it was, you know, me and my brothers rooting for our high school team, and then my mom and my dad and my aunt rooting for their high school team. And they flip-flop back and forth every year, whether they have, you know, where they have the football games. So whether it's home or away for my high school. And when it was at my high school, it's walking distance from my parents' house. So we used to just, as a family, walk to the high school football game and, you know, see classmates, old classmates, and even they would see old friends and everything. And, you know, just watch the football game. It was a lot of fun. We have not done that since the girls were born. Thanksgiving is sometimes really cold, and sometimes I've actually gotten sunburned on Thanksgiving, so it really all does depend on the weather. But right now their nap schedule is right after the game starts. So I don't think they're going to be going to my high school football game for some time, but I'm sure our traditions are going to change once they're in high school and they're going to want to go to the football game and see their friends, and, you know, but that's our tradition. We used to, and then after the football game, it was usually over around, you know, 1 o'clock. We'd all walk home and have hors d'oeuvres at my parents' house. My parents host it every year. And we'd have hors d'oeuvres at my parents' house, and then we'd eat around 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, no later than 3. So this way we could end up getting more leftovers. But we would just sit around the table and just talk as a family and laugh with each other. There's a lot of really good Thanksgiving memories. So, you know, I'm just curious of what everybody else's traditions are, because I know some people eat at dinner time or 4 o'clock and then they watch football all day on the TV. But I don't think we ever turned our TV on until the night game. You know, we will watch a night game, but that's about it. So, well, now it's starting to simmer a little bit. I can see it around the edges. It's starting to get really, really simmery looking. So we're going to turn the heat off, and I'm going to go and we're going to put this in our bowl and mix it with the breadcrumbs. We'll be right back. All right, so we're going to put all of our stuffing in, 2 bags of stuffing in our bowl. Get all the good stuff in there. And this is why I split 2 bags and 1 bag, because I don't have a bowl that's big enough for 3 bags. And I learned that by trying to do 3 bags all at the same time. Actually, I think I tried to do 4 bags the last time I did it. And quickly realized that I did not have enough room, and then I was trying to figure out how to split up the carrots, the celery, and the butter between the bags. So we're gonna dump all of our, it's very, very hot, so you wanna be very careful, but we're going to dump all of our carrots and our butter and our celery and onions into our stuffing mix. Make sure you get all of that in there. So my husband did come home. He just got in. Apparently it just started raining. If I can get the pot balanced on there. And you just want to mix, you know, you don't want to over mix it, but you want to make sure that there's no like dry spots in there. If it's like super, super sticky and super, super heavy, but you want to just kind of incorporate all of, I'm going to try to do this right-handed so I'm not blocking the camera. Try to incorporate all of the celery and onions and carrots. If you're brave enough, you can stick your hand in there, but it is hot. I've done it before. I always do the stuffing first before cleaning the turkey so that it gives it time to cool down. Because you are going to be using your hands to stuff the turkey. So now it's kind of sticking. You can kind of see it's like sticking to the spoon. So and you're hearing less and less crunching. So that's probably good for now. I'm probably going to mix it a little bit more with my hands once it cools down after I've cleaned the turkey. So let this cool down and let's go do our turkey. All right, so I've cut open the bag for the turkey, but this is our turkey. I'm going to open it up. I always do it in the sink because you're going to want to rinse it. And the dog is scratching because Dad's home. So you're going to want to reach inside your bird and find any and all of the giblets, if they're in there, or giblets, however you want to say it. So there's none in that side. I think they might have put them all in the same side. So my sink is clean, so I'm just going to leave everything sitting here. This is all going to be for, that's all going to be for the dog, because Mommy and Daddy do not eat that. I guess I could do a video of the girls eating it. I just want to double check to make sure they didn't put anything in this back cavity. Sometimes there is something back there. It does not appear to have anything back there. I don't feel anything else back there. So I'm going to just rinse this with cold water. I am going to clean my sink afterwards. I'll throw this out as well. Make sure it's cold water. And when you're cleaning your sink afterwards, make sure you clean the part that you're holding to, if that comes off. So I'm gonna, cold water, I'm just gonna shoot it on the inside. We want all of that nice and clean. Looks like there's some nice pieces of fat on this part too, which will be nice. Alright, so we're gonna dump it Let it all, and if you had a frozen turkey, this also makes sure that the inside gets defrosted. I'm just gonna reach my hand in and just, second time, just feel around, make sure there's nothing in there. It's awful when you cook the turkey and then you end up pulling out the giblets out of the inside. Keep this plastic tab on there, on the ends. It will not melt in your oven, and it helps to hold the bird together. All right, so now there's nothing in there. Just making sure it's drained. So I'm actually going to pick this up and put it on a cookie sheet. So we'll be right back. Okay, so we're back. As you can see, I have my turkey pan, and I've put butcher's twine crisscrossing on the inside. So when the turkey's done cooking, we can use the butcher's twine to lift it out. So you can just stick it. Looks like somebody missed some feathers. You can just stick your turkey in there to stuff it. No problem. For me, it's easier to stuff the turkey on a cookie sheet and then put it in there. I don't know if it's because I'm short or what it is, but I'm just gonna pat the turkey dry with some paper towels. I'm also gonna stick the paper towel in there and just pat that dry a little bit, just to make sure that we've got most of the water out of it. All right, so once that's all done, we're going to take our mixture. I'm going to take the spoon out, put that back in the sink, actually. But we're going to take our stuffing mixture. It's still warm. It's not terribly hot. It's very, very moist now. But take, a handful, whatever a handful is for you at a time, and just lift up the bird and stuff it in there. And I am going to turn the bird around and stuff the backside as well. So it's easier for me if I make, like little meatballs of stuffing, squeeze it together. And the dog's scratching again. We have a vet appointment tomorrow. So today is actually Tuesday. You will be seeing this video on Thursday. But we have a vet appointment for Wednesday. Just because he's really, the scratching is getting really bad. He ended up having episodes, I think it was actually 4 days in a row, which is a lot. Episodes where he doesn't know where he is, and he doesn't seem to recognize anything. He is still eating, he's still drinking, and he's great during the day. It's literally just at night. So, but he's obviously, something's bothering him. He's very uncomfortable. So we do have the vet tomorrow. So I'm literally squishing this, every little, stuffing ball that I make, I'm squishing it and putting it as far back in as possible and squishing it into the rest of the stuffing back there.
It smells good in here.
We're stuffing the bird. If the stuffing's still too hot for you, just let it cool down a little bit. Your turkey will be totally fine sitting out waiting for the stuffing to cool down. My hands are used to it.
How do you know which end to stuff?
Because the legs are crossed right there. I stuff both ends, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's easier if you start by stuffing the giant cavity that you can see, like where the legs crisscross, rather than trying to stuff it from behind.
There you go.
We still have about an hour until the girls wake up. So the bird will definitely be in the oven by then. Like I said, this bird is 21 pounds, so it's going to take about 4 hours and 45 minutes. But you want to always just check the temperature and make sure it's 165. That's in the breast. 165, 175, I believe, in the leg. But 165 in the breast, it'll be done. But every about 15 minutes, you want to baste it.
Here's a question for you. Is it giblets or giblets?
I said both today because I don't know. I said giblets at one point, and then I said, or giblets, because I'm not sure which way it's pronounced.
Yeah.
And being from Jersey, I've heard it both ways.
Give me the giblets.
The giblets and the giblets. I think it might be giblets. Like, that sounds more right to me.
Yeah.
So once it starts getting closer to the front, I push harder into the back to make sure it's like really in there. But you want to keep your eye on the back, because if it starts coming out back there, you don't have to push anymore.
So the whole idea of the stuffing is what? Just make sure the inside doesn't dry out?
It just soaks up the flavor of the turkey. Actually, unstuffed turkey cooks faster. But it's, I don't know, the stuffing just soaks up the flavor of the turkey. It doesn't make it dry out any faster if you unstuff the bird. You just can't cook it for as long.
Okay. Yeah, I'll cook up the good giblets for the dog.
That's exactly what I said, because we do it every year. Just stick it in a pot of water and cook it for the dog. I was like, maybe we'll give it to the girls, but probably not, because I won't eat them, so
No.
I'm not going to be like, here's the liver of a turkey, child, eat it.
We didn't go out and like harvest this thing.
No. If in the future they ever want to eat it, okay, no problem. I will cook it up for you. I will find a recipe and you can try it, but Mama is not going to make you eat that. So it's pretty much, I do like to put like a nice, like, I don't know,
Dome?
follow the, dome. I was like, I don't know what to call that. Like follow the turkey down.
Contour.
Because I like when it gets a little burnt and crispy on top. I usually pick that off when the carving starts happening.
Right.
You gotta have a taste tester. And then you can stuff a little bit down here at the bottom. I think there's gonna be exactly enough to stuff the back of the bird too. Like I said, if your turkey's smaller, you might only want to do one bag, you know, for the stuffing part of the bird. If your turkey's bigger than this, then you have a lot more cooking to do than I do. All right, I'm going to turn the turkey around so you can see. I'm bringing strings with me.
Set up so pretty.
Okay, so of course the camera shut off again. That's my life. So we're packing this cavity back here with more stuffing. So while the camera was cooling off this time, I did make the third batch of stuffing. I could have probably done 4 bags this year because our turkey is so big. But we're gonna deal with what we got, which is, it's completely fine. We have plenty of stuffing. This stuffing is a little bit warmer than the other. So we're just literally packing this whole entire back cavity. You don't want to push too hard because we've already pushed all of our stuffing from the front to the back. So if you start pushing really, really hard, you're just going to be pushing all that stuffing back out the front end. So I'm just going to pack it in there. Some people don't like to stuff their turkey. That is completely up to you whether you stuff it or not. If you don't and you just do the stuffing, you want to grease a pan, whether it's a bowl or some kind of glass dish, but you want to grease the glass dish, and you want to bake it at 350 for about half an hour, or until it gets like crispy looking on top. So that's about all I'm going to stuff in this bird. So I'm actually going to take the tail of this and just wrap it up in there. There's a little pocket you can tuck it into, just so that it holds everything on the inside. All right, so now I'm going to take this, it's just been sitting out, it's a little piece of butter, and I'm going to rub the whole bird down with it. I have in the past, I do save bacon grease, and I have in the past used bacon grease on my turkeys. It makes it very flavorful, especially if you get like some good bacon. So I'm just rubbing down all the legs, the wings, little piece of turkey or stuffing. I'm gonna spin it so we can get this side. This is what I think keeps it more moist, is just rubbing the whole bird down with butter or grease, or some kind of really good fat. I do like I said, bacon fat, but my dad always just uses butter, so maybe that's why his gravy comes out so good. It's like we're putting lotion on the bird. So I have before also taken my finger and lifted up some of the skin right here and shoved bacon grease down the center of it. I'm not going to do that with the butter. I'm going to leave it intact. I'm just going to rub, make sure it's all nice and even. And then we're going to lift it and we're going to put it in. Let me move this out of the way. We're going to lift the bird and we're going to put it in our baking pan. Like I said, I crisscrossed all of the string so that it's easier just to grab the string to pull the bird out. Because once your bird is cooked, it is cooked and it will fall apart. So yeah, so we're just gonna lift. We're gonna lift it from the bottom so that we don't ruin the stuffing. And we're just gonna sit it right in there. And that fits perfectly. So I'm gonna scoop up any stuffing that may have fallen out. I'm just gonna plop it on top. It's just a little bit. So now we're gonna go and stick this. I'm gonna go and stick this in the oven. I don't know if you'll be able to see the oven from here, and the camera has already overheated. So I don't want to risk getting it too close to the oven and have it overheating again. So I'm just going to put this, make sure the rack in your oven before you turn it on is all the way at the bottom. And like I said, I have my oven set at 350. I am going to check this in 15 minutes and every 15 minutes to baste it. So yeah, we'll check back every few minutes and I'll let you see what the bird looks like. Okay, so it's been about an hour and 15 minutes. And I figured I would show you, hopefully the camera doesn't get too overheated or steamed up. I figured I'd show you basting the turkey at least once. So just pull it out and get your turkey baster and just, you can see it's starting to get nice and golden. And you want to make sure that you get the whole turkey just nice. I've been doing this every 15 minutes. And you just want to keep doing it every 15 minutes. Throw a little bit in that stuffing. A little bit in the stuffing back here. Vino smells it, so he's gonna come running. I'm just making sure that it's all nicely soaked up. So I do have a timer on my phone going off every 15 minutes so that I don't forget. Thankfully, Daddy is home, so the girls aren't like, why does Mommy keep leaving? They're totally happy that Dad's home. So once it's all nice and covered again. Now the next time that I do it, I might crack some black pepper. Oops, lost my little nub. I might crack some black pepper over the top of it. I hope the camera is able to see everything right now. I think it is. I always get nervous that I'm like not looking at the turkey well enough or the food well enough, or make sure we get that in there a little bit more. So my oven's yelling at me because I'm letting out too much heat. So we're gonna push that turkey back in and we'll come back in 15 minutes. So we are an hour and a half ahead of schedule, but as you can see, hopefully you can see, the glare is probably killing it right now, but so the breast is actually at 180, which is warmer than what we need it to be at. And if we stick it into the thigh, if I can get a good, there we go, measure, that needs to also be at 180, and we are going to go a little above that as well. 175 is good for the thigh, 165 for the breast. So we're just gonna let it rest, even though we are an hour and a half ahead of schedule. So I'm actually going to take the turkey out. We're going to stick it on a new cookie sheet, not the one that we used to. You can see the clear liquid coming out of the hole right there. Hopefully you can see that. So if it's running clear, it's definitely finished. So yeah, I'm gonna put it on a new cookie sheet to let it just sit and rest until everything else is done. And I will show you how to do the potatoes and the gravy. And we'll be right back. All right, so we're back. We have the potatoes. I boiled them. I usually they were soaking in the cold water, and then I turn the oven or the stove top on till it's, boiling, and then I just let them boil and test them, see how easily that fork went into there. They're still a little warm. But yeah, so the fork is going to like literally slide in, no problem. You're not forcing it or anything. That's how you know they're done. So I check them. I probably let them boil for about 10 minutes and then I check them. We're going to add I did 5 potatoes. We're going to add 3 tablespoons of butter. I'll let that melt in there. I have old-fashioned potato masher. I think I just heard Daddy say, do you want snacks? So he might be coming up to get the girls snacks since our turkey is definitely done.
Ooh. I don't know where in the snacks jar it is.
It's probably hidden down there somewhere.
Yeah, I was just gonna put hers in the cup.
There is another pink cup, but that might confuse them.
Yeah, no, it's... I'll give her...
You want the puffs?
Yeah. Or...
There's more puffs on top of the freezer.
Oh, yeah.
And, did I bring the diaper bag in or no? There's also those crinklies on top of the freezer.
Okay.
So the butter is melting in there and I'm just smashing these down as the butter melts. We are going to add some sour cream and probably a little bit of milk. and definitely some cracked pepper. The sour cream and the milk are just gonna moisten them a little more. If you don't like sour cream or milk, you can always just add more butter. I think milk really makes the potatoes nice and creamy. You're gonna go down there and she's gonna have her cup in her hand, I bet.
Oh, that's fine. I'll just dump this.
Yeah. Did you ask her where her cup was? Because sometimes she'll find it.
But she is just going to town with her little drawing table.
Oh, okay. All right, so all that butter is melted in there. And they still are a little bit dry, so we're just gonna, I eyeball it, honestly. I'm just gonna squeeze some sour cream. I always do sour cream first, because you'll be able to tell how much milk you need after the sour cream has been added. And here's Beano. So see how they're looking creamier? So we're not gonna really need too much milk. If your potatoes are really, really dry, you can also use some of the reserved potato water. Definitely make sure you save all of the potato water for your gravy. That is huge. So yeah, the potato water is going to make your gravy just like the best. So I'm going to just put a splash of milk in there. I prefer to do it the old-fashioned way with a hand masher rather than blenders or food processors or anything like that, because I can actually feel the potatoes under the masher. I can see it better, so I know when it's creamy enough for my liking. So these are perfect. So I'm just going to add some fresh pepper. I do not put any salt in there. If people want to salt their potatoes, they can. I think the sour cream adds enough flavor to them. And the butter that I use is salted butter. Just mix in that pepper. And I'll get a spoon so you can see how creamy it really is. I'm not sure if the camera's even picking it up. So you can see with the spoon, the back of the spoon. Now there's still potato chunks, but I like my mashed potatoes a little chunky. But you can see how creamy it is. Like the spoon just kind of glides right over top. So that's how I do my mashed potatoes. And we'll go and do the gravy. See you in a few. So I just wanted to show the turkey again. It is definitely done. Also, I did put the other stuffing in a bowl. And that's in the oven at 350 for about half hour to 35 minutes. And I just thought this was the cutest thing. Dino is really hoping that some of this turkey falls off and onto the floor so he can eat it. But that is our done turkey resting on a cookie sheet. And now we are going to go and do our gravy. So I left everything in the pan. Like any of the turkey meat, some of the skin. The only thing I took out was like chunks of stuffing. So all that turkey is going to actually give you some good flavor. So we have, I should have put this out. We have 2 heaping tablespoons of cornstarch. And we also have in this container, this is our potato water. So this is, how many ounces? 20 ounces of potato water. And this is 1 cup of plain cold water. And I do have an extra cup of potato water in case I need it. But we're gonna mix. Let me put the camera up here. Hopefully I can balance it on my fancy little box thing. So to get this started, we are going to mix the cornstarch, let me get a spoon, in with the cold water. We're gonna make a slurry. So I did call my dad. He was so confused because I did not tell, well, maybe I told him, maybe he forgot, I'm not sure. But he said, I'm doing the turkey. I said, I know, but we're also doing a turkey. And I want to try to do my own gravy again. He said, oh, okay. So he told me how he does his turkey gravy. So you want to mix this really well. Now it's going to be really hard to mix it just because it's cornstarch. So when you touch it, it gets that like sloppiness, stickiness. It's like hard to move. So you want to just try to get that stirred in as well as possible. So it's starting to loosen up. All right, there we go. So we have what my dad calls a slurry. So it's all mixed in there really, really well. So we're going to take this over and we're going to stick it in our pan. I'm going to move the camera, so I'm probably going to cut this part. So, all right, so I'm going to turn on medium and we're going to go that one to medium. So I have 2 burners. If you have like a regular gas stove, line the pan up with both your burners, turn them on medium. Now, my dad normally does this just with the regular spoon that he mixes. I think I'm going to grab a bigger spoon just to keep my hands out of there. So we're going to mix that in. Hi, Beano. We're going to dump our chicken stock, or our potato water, I'm sorry. It looks just like chicken stock. We're going to dump it all in there, and we're just going to scrape the bottom of the pan, which is going to sound awful, so I apologize for that. Mix it up really, really well. I probably should have loosened everything on the bottom of the pan so you didn't have to listen to this. Now that it's like pretty much scraped up, I think I'm gonna just use a wooden spoon just so that you can hear me talking. And I'm gonna turn the heat up to high. So you want to just keep stirring it. At least that's what my father said. You keep stirring it until it boils. So it already looks really, really good. Obviously, it needs to thicken. But once it starts boiling, it should be at the thickness that we want. So I'm actually going to turn the oven off because our stuffing that is not in the bird is almost finished cooking. So I'm just going to turn it off and leave it in there. It is covered, so it's not going to dry out. By the way, the stuffing does taste absolutely amazing. I took a little piece of it. So I'm hoping everybody is having a great Thanksgiving, and if you have turkey for Christmas, you can follow all these recipes, or you can just do it next year, or you don't necessarily have to cook turkeys just on Thanksgiving. Turkeys are available in the stores all year round. Maybe not fresh turkeys, but they definitely always have a frozen turkey, because I know I've cooked turkeys in February before. I've even cooked them in the summer before. So I do still have the mashed potato pot here filled also with the rest of the potato water, just in case, because if this doesn't end up getting thick enough, I'm going to need a little more potato water. The starch in the potatoes helps to thicken along with the cornstarch. And we're just going to keep stirring. And you can strain this if you don't like, you know, all the bits, the chicken or turkey bits and skin and everything. If you don't like that in your gravy, you can strain it before putting it in the gravy boat. I'm hoping this comes out good. It's looking good so far. They want more snacks.
No, can I just tell you a story real quick?
Yeah, the camera's rolling, so
that's fine.
You're gonna tell everybody.
That's fine.
Okay.
So, you know, they're both, instead of their regular cups, they're using these ones for their snacks. Okay. So the other ones have the cover on it so they can't spill. Anna accidentally spilled a bunch, and we said, oh no, we started cleaning it up. You know what Gwen said?
What?
She goes, a hat. Put a hat. Well, not put. I put the put part. But she just said, a hat.
She wanted the cover over her. Oh my god, the lid.
She was like, you know what would stop that? A lid. I was like, oh, you're so smart.
But she doesn't know the word lid, so she said hat. She is too smart. That is amazing. So my dad said that once it boils, it's thickened. So it is getting thicker. I think I'm just going to keep boiling and stirring until it's the thickness I want. But it's looking good.
Yeah, it looks good.
So,
I think it'll thicken even off the heat though, correct? Did
Maybe.
you put the starch in there?
I did. So you think I should just turn it all off and just let it go?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. They're probably stealing each other's snacks down there.
Oh, no, they're laughing.
Oh, they're laughing at each other? Okay, good. Sometimes their laughing sounds like crying. Oh yeah, they're definitely laughing. I hear it now. That is too funny. Oh, Gwen wanted a hat so that they didn't spill. I'm sure Mama's gonna walk down there and find Anastasia's cup. Her snack cup is probably in the toy box. She sometimes hides her snack cup in the toy box. So this is definitely really starting to thicken. Okay, I'm gonna move the mashed potato water out of the way so that I can slide this off of the heat. Hopefully you can still see it. Let me see. Oh, no, you can't. Just hold the camera. So I dripped a little bit on the top burner. So it's definitely thickening. I might just put a little corner back on. I'm trying to like not put the GoPro too close. But that is becoming like a perfect gravy. Okay, this is the first time I've ever done a gravy that came out perfect. I'm super, super happy. And you all witnessed it. Now I will probably crack some pepper in it because I do like pepper in my gravy. But it's got all of the yummy flavors from the turkey in there because we did leave, you know, bits of the turkey skin. I'm trying to pull a piece out. Bits of the turkey itself. So there's turkey skin. So that's all still in there. And like I said, I just used the drippings from the pan with the potato water and the cornstarch. Dad is back up again. I think he just went into the other room to get more snacks. They do love their snacks. Thankfully, our snacks are vegetables and have vegetables in them. Oh yeah, that's definitely, I think it will actually thicken as it stands. So that is a great gravy recipe, and I'm glad I was able to do it so that hopefully you guys can also follow. So my dad did say that if there's too much oil, you won't get a nice creamy gravy. It's going to come out kind of lumpy and bumpy and, you know, just that oil slick kind of gravy, which I think was probably my problem because I used to, I don't know if you were listening, but I used to put bacon grease all over my turkey to keep it nice and moist. So that's obviously very oily. So that's probably the opposite. That's why I was having such a hard time. And this time I only did the butter. So it came out so much nicer. So yeah, that is like a perfect consistency for me. I mean, it's not too thick, it's not chunky, and it's not too watery, you know what I mean? So there's your perfect gravy. Thanks, Dad, for the tip. So yeah, that is, I think that's it. So I'll put myself back on camera in just a minute. All right, so I'm back. Obviously, you can tell I'm hot. My face is flushed. It's warm in the kitchen. So tonight I did the stuffing, the mashed potatoes, the gravy and the turkey, obviously. So I am going to tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to cook the candied yams. So that video will be another in the link. It'll be a link in the description. It'll be a separate video by itself. So along with the cranberry sauce. So don't forget to check the description for the cranberry sauce and candied yams. And obviously I will put a link to the girls eating their turkey dinner. That will also be in the description. I hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving, whether you're with family, by yourself, with friends, no matter where you are. Just, you know, happy Thanksgiving, and there's a lot to be thankful for. I'm thankful, obviously, for my family, including Pino and the cat, and I'm thankful for all of you. You know, I never imagined that we'd have this many people watching us, and, you know, it really warms my heart, and it makes me very happy. So thank you all, and happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.